All right, looking at the warm-up, it says, solve the equation to be in slope-intercept form, then state the slope and y-intercept of the equation. So to solve this to be in slope-intercept form, this is what we've been doing. What do I need to move over first? The 2. Do I want to add the 2 or subtract the 2? Subtract the 2. So you're going to minus 2x on both sides. And again, if it helps you, circle that sign in front of the y along with the number. All of that needs to be brought down. So we're left with negative 4y equals. Do I add the 16 and the negative 2? No, we're just rewriting here. You're just going to rewrite it. So negative 2x plus 16. And then what do I have to do to every single number? Divided by negative 4. So y is going to equal, what's negative 2 divided by negative 4? 1 over 2x. And then what's 16 divided by negative 4? Negative 4. Good. What's your slope? That's 1 over 2. And then what's your y-intercept? Negative 4. So here are your answers. So I want to see all that work in the little box, right? Hopefully we showed all the steps. And then you want to put your 2 answers in the answer box. All right. Once you have that done, let's go over to your 5.2 notes. All right. So I'm going to be reading off of this page. So just follow along with your calculator as I'm going through all the steps. We're going to be solving the problems on the back page, okay? So I'm going to be projecting my calculator and then going through all the steps. So as we go through and we look at this first problem, is it already in slope-intercept form? Yes, right? They're already in y equals, so we don't have to do any solving. All we have to do is enter this into our calculator. So before we get started, always go to your home button, right? You're going to select new document. You're going to press 1 for new, and you're going to go to add graphs, all right? So that's what the first step. The first step said convert each equation into slope-intercept form, which we already have agreed that those equations are already in y equals. It says open one, a new document, and choose 2 to add a graph. Graph the first equation and press enter. So our first equation is y equals negative 1. So this right here, class, that f1 of x, that's your y equals. So this is y equals, so all we're going to enter is negative 1. That's it. And you're going to press enter. All right, step 3 says, all right, it says that we're going to go ahead and press tab. So you're going to press your tab button, which is this one right here in red on my screen. And we're going to enter the second equation. Your second equation is x plus 9. All right, and then you're going to press enter. Do you see where they're intersecting at? Do we see that intersection on the calculator? We do. Can we see it exactly? Can we see it perfectly? Or do we kind of see it cut off? You kind of see it cut off, right? So if you read step 4, it says if you cannot see both graphs, zoom out using menu, 4, and then 4 again. So we're going to press menu. We're going to go to 4 to zoom. And then we're going to zoom out. So we're going to press 4. Now, when you zoom out, usually I'll have you guys go through the center, but if we kind of have an idea of where the intersection is, so I notice that it's over here, over to the left, you're going to press enter, and then you should be able to see that full intersection. Okay, so then after we hit escape, we're off. So it says, once both graphs are in the calculator, and I'm on step 5, it says choose menu. So you're going to press menu again, press 6. You're going to go to analyze. And then you're going to go 4 where it says intersection. Okay, let me go through those steps again. So once you're here, you're going to press menu, 6 to analyze, and then 4 for intersection. Okay, once you have that, you're just going to press enter. All right, look, this little cursor goes left and right. What we're going to do is we're going to highlight the intersection. So you're going to go to the left of the intersection. Just go to the left side. It's okay if you're over here, just as long as you're on this side. So you're going to press the left side, you're going to press enter, or just press the mouse pad. And then you're just going to slide it over until it highlights the intersection. You see how the intersection, that little yellow box popped up? That's indicating that the calculator's reading the intersection. If it does, you're good. The moment that pops up, you should be able just to press your mouse or press enter, and it should take it. So what's our intersection for that first one? Negative 10, negative 1. All right, so on our notes, we're going to enter negative 10, negative 1. All right, so here we're going to enter negative 10, negative 1. Okay, so then when we look at number 2, you're going to ask yourself, are they both in slope-intercept form? Yeah, so we have to just do this again. Now, what you could do is if you press Control Dock, if you press Control, the yellow button on your calculator, and you press Dock, all right, did everybody press Control Dock? So Control the yellow button and then Dock. You can just go to Add Graphs. That way you're not opening up a new one. It just lets you add one and we can just keep doing it until we're done with our homework. Okay? So Control Dock. All right, so then from here we're going to enter the next equation. We're going to do negative x and then minus 1. Make sure that was a negative and make sure the second one was a minus. All right, once you have it, you press enter. So then from here, we're going to add another one. This is where you press tab. Press tab, we're going to enter the second equation, which is negative 1 minus x. Negative 1 and then minus x. All right, if you notice, it just highlighted the same line. What is that indicating? That's the same line. What is our answer anytime it's the same line? Infinite solutions. All right, so we're going to write infinite solutions. All right, so let's go over to number 3. On number 3, you notice that 1 is already in slope-intercept form. Is the second one in slope-intercept form? No, so we're going to go ahead and solve it like the way we did on the warm-up. So what do I need to move over? The x. Let's add the 3x because that's the opposite of a negative or subtracting. Okay, we're going to bring down the 2y. So that's a positive 2y. And then how am I going to write, what am I going to write on the right side? 3x plus 4. What do I have to do to everything? Divide by 2. So then we get y is equal to 3 over 2x plus 2. So this is our first equation. Our first equation was already done. And then this is the second equation we're going to enter in the calculator, okay? All right, so then from here, remember, how do we get a new page? Do you remember we press Control Dock, Control Dock, Control Dock, and then we hit 2 for add graphs or for a new graph. All right, the first one is 4x minus 3. So 4x and then minus 3. And then press enter. All right, do you remember how to add the second equation? What do we press? Tab. Good. You press tab. And then we enter the second one. The second one is 3 over 2. You can do 3 divided by 2. It'll read it the same way. What you also could do is you can press Control Divide, and that'll bring up the fraction if you want. Either one was going to work. Just make sure that if you're doing this fraction that's already set up, just kind of move your cursor to the right. That way you can enter your x. All right, and then plus 2. All right, this is what our graph should look like. So if you could, since we can see the intersection, there's no zooming needed. All right, so we're gonna go back to menu. You're gonna go 6 to analyze. And then where do we go from here? What are we interested in? The intersection, right? And you wanna read the options because we are gonna be doing several of these. We're looking at the intersection right now. All right, and you're gonna go to the left of it. Go to the left of it. You're gonna go ahead and press enter or press your cursor. Press the mouse pad, and you're gonna slide until that intersection box pops up. The moment that pops up, you're done. All right, now if you notice everything's cluttered up here, if you move your cursor around on your mouse pad, you see that little hand that pops up? If you can put it over your point and then press your mouse pad down, the moment it closes, it can grab it. So I'm trying to get mine to grab right there. 2, 5. All right, so then on this one here, we're going to enter our solution. Our solution here should be 2, 5. So we're still doing what we did yesterday. Now we're just using the calculator, right? Because you're going to have to do it on paper, but you're also going to have to do it just on the calculator. All right, do I have to do anything to this one? Okay, so I'm going to let you guys try this one since it's already set up. And let's see if we all come out with the same solution. So for this one, when we graphed them, pressing Control Dock, and then to graphs, the first equation was 2x plus 5. And then pressing Tab, we should have entered 2x minus 1. All right, and it's okay to zoom out, right? We're going to zoom. I'm going to zoom out, and I'm going to zoom it out from the center just to see if I see them touching. This one's obvious that one's not even coming in at an angle to even try to intersect. So this one, it was not intersecting. So what did we call it when it's not intersecting? They are parallel lines, but there's no solution. Listen, these are parallel lines. Yes, they're parallel lines, but the question isn't what's the relationship between the two lines. The question is, what is the solution? So there's no solution because they're not meeting, okay? All right, so I'm going to have you guys try this one. This one, listen. I'm going to give you a minute to go ahead and solve this first one. Solve this one because this one's already done. So solve the first one and then let me come back on. That way you can check your answer. All right, let's go ahead and check our answer. So this was my equation. Hopefully you got the same one. It should be negative 6 over 7x. Should be negative 6 over 7x. And then plus 20 over 7. And that's fine. It's okay if you have two fractions. You just have two fractions. And it does happen sometimes. All right, so here are your two answers. You're going to enter the two equations. You're going to enter 2x, but you're also going to enter that negative 6 over 7x plus 20 over 7. So let's go ahead and enter those together. So Control Dock, and then 2 for graphs. On the first one, we're going to enter 2x, and then press Enter. Remember, what do we press to add the second equation? Tab. This one's going to be negative 6. I'm going to use the dividing one on this one. Divided by 7x. Just like that. And then you're going to do plus 20 divided by 7. All right. Now, when you press Enter, always look at your equation, right? So here's the graph I entered. This one here in black. You always want to make sure that this is what you intended to enter. So if you ever see this x down here at the bottom with the 7 or with the denominator, you definitely want to go through and change it, right? You want to make sure the x is next to it, not on top or not on bottom. All right, and then once you have this, how do we find the solution? What do we press? Menu, 6, 4, and then we go to the left. We slide to the right, and the moment y'all see intersection, there's your answer. So what's our answer to this one? 1 over 2. All right, I'm not going to go to the one next to this. I'm not going to do number 6. What I am going to do is I want to go to the bottom because I want to talk about finding the table. Okay? So I'm going to come down here to the bottom. So to get to your tables, this one says the table of ordered pairs represents some points on the graph of f and g. Which of the following equations make up the system of equations that represent f and g? Select 2 answers. All you're doing here is you're going to put this in the calculator. You're pressing Control T to get to your tables. So look, all I'm going to do is I'm going to enter this equation first, this negative 1.5x plus 1.25. So on my calculator, I'm going to press Control Dock again and graphs. I'm only going to graph that first one. I'm going to have a negative 1.5x plus 1.25. All right, now I'm going to press Enter. I'm really not interested in the graph here. I'm interested in the table. So this is why I told you that we were going to be pressing Control T. So you're going to press Control, and then you're going to press the T, the letter T. The letter T is down here. Remember, all your alphabets down at the bottom. all you want to do is you want to check your table. So I would look at -6 and see if it's with -19. And then I would check -2 to see if it's with -8.25. Because if this isn't true or this isn't true, then that first equation cannot be either table. All right, so I'm going to go up to -6. Is that with -19? Nope. All right, so I'm going to go down to -2. And I'm looking at the second table now. Is -2 with 8.25? No. So then you're going to look at come back to your notes, right? And you're going to say, okay, this one is not either table. So you're going to cross it out. All right, let's enter this one out. So I'm going to go ahead, go back to my calculator. I'm just going to press Control-Dock to get a new graph. And I'm going to enter 2x minus 7. So 2x minus 7. All right, how do I look at the table? What do we press? Control-T. All right, if you press Control-T, let's check the -6 first. Is -6 with -19? Yes. All right, so again, looking at the table, -6 and -19, I need to make sure it has -1 and -9. So come down to -1. Is it with -9? Yes, and the last one to check is 3 and -1. All right, so then we can say that this equation is line F. So I'm going to put line F here, and I'm going to go ahead and check that off. All right, what I want y'all to do now is find me which one is line G. So this one's already taken care of. Now I want you to find which one matches that table. Did the first equation work? Was this our answer? The -7x plus 2? No, was it the last one? All right, so then the last one, and then on your homework, you will just check it off. If it helps you, put whatever line it is. That way you know that those matched up, okay?